What's up, Hokie fans? This is Coach Mike Holmes, contributor to the Sons of Saturday, coming to you with this week's Hokie Hitter. I myself just got back from my trip to Blacksburg. I got to go see the Hokies beat the Boston College Eagles 42-21 on a great night in Lane Stadium. Everyone thought it was going to be super cold. It ended up being pretty nice weather all day during the tailgate and all evening during the game. During this game, the Hokies executed their offense probably to its, for at least 3 quarters anyway. Third quarter we can just forget about. But for the first 2 quarters and the fourth quarter, we executed at such a high level. It really made Hokie fans begin to believe that this team really could be something special, especially going forward for the rest of the season. I'm going to take a look at 2 plays today. The first play we're going to look at is just a perfect play. You could not draw this play up any better. If you couldn't run it any better if you were playing against air. Not trying to talk bad about the Boston College defense because they did play hard. That's a good team with a good defense, good coaching. But this play was just executed absolutely flawlessly. Second play we're going to talk about again is a use of motion. It is a use of scheme, and it is mostly a use of improvisation. When a play gets busted, to see what our athletes can do when things break down and be athletes and go make plays, it was pretty remarkable to see how we could pull that off. So we're going to talk about those 2 plays. So let's go ahead and get to the board. We'll talk about the first one here. So as you see on the board here, Hokies are lined up in what I used to call a trips wide set. That means I have 2 slot receivers out here, but my split end on the line of scrimmage is the farthest out wide. If he was in closer, and the flankers are split out wide, I call that trips near. We have single receiver over here in Quan Felton. We have Tootin and Drones in the backfield. Boston College defense, they line up in their traditional 4-3. They were running a lot of 4-3. They were running a lot of cover 2. Every once in a while, they mix in some cover 1, kind of like what they're going to show here on this particular play. It's more of a cover 1 look. But as you can see, you have 2 5s on the outside. You have 2 2-eyes here in the middle that are inside shade of the guard here. Why are they doing this? They're trying to take away the A-gap run. Okay. Sometimes your blocking scheme can work absolutely perfectly, and if you have 2 really good interior defensive linemen, like Virginia Tech has, it can really shut down that inside run. But if you notice, you have a backer split out wide. He's kind of apexed here. He's there to prevent this outside run by Tootin because we have been hammering that outside run pretty much all season, and we did it especially in our previous game against Stanford. So we wanted to see exactly, we wanted this alignment here by this linebacker is a direct result of our previous week's explosion on offense. And we'd also had some success early with running to the outside in this game. We have 1 Mike backer in the middle here. This linebacker is outside the box. Here he is lined up over Harrison St. Germain here, number 87. So if I'm looking at this play and I'm a coach, I'm looking at the box right here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus my running back and my quarterback. I'm running this at 7 on 5 essentially. So this is a great look for this run play. And so because of our formation, we're able to spread everybody out. It gets everybody outside the box, and it really sets up this play perfectly. Now, this is going to end up being Bashal Tootin's 83-yard touchdown run. Takes place around the 12-minute, 35-second mark of the second quarter. It's a first down play. So this is right after big turnover. APR picks up the ball on the Castellanos fumble, and this is the next play right after scrimmage. Next play from scrimmage right after that fumble. So let's take a look about how this play breaks down. The first thing that's going to happen is that Harrison St. Germain is going to trickle in motion before the snap. So this play actually runs like a buck sweep concept. So on a buck sweep concept, it's an old wing T term that I used to use, but buck sweep. Essentially, you have 1 blocker that acts as a kick out. So he's going to find a guy and the end guy on the line and try to ride him out. The next part of the buck sweep play is the wrap blocker. So the rat blocker, in this case, we're going to use the right tackle in this case, which is Johnny Garrett, number 79. He's actually going to pull through the hole, and his job is to get to block somebody at the second level and try to spring the run for more yardage. So when a couple things happen here. So when this play begins, Harrison St. Germain here goes in motion. Two things happen, or three things happen. These linebackers in the middle, when we see this motion, they all bump over. So this linebacker who is on St. Germain, he bumps over into the middle. This Mike linebacker slides over top of the B gap. We're thinking outside run here. We're thinking some type of stretch to the outside. The other thing that happens is now that this linebacker has vacated this space, this free safety rolls down. So now you're almost in a cover zero look, and there's nobody on top. There's nobody behind to even stop the play if we're able to get past the second level. Okay, so again, using motion to get everybody where we want. Now, let's take a look at the blocking scheme. Again, perfectly executed. Couldn't draw it up any better. So, all right, so you have Chaplin over here is going to take this 5 technique and kick him out. The reason being, there's nobody else in the box for Chaplin to block. We essentially have this play designed, and Harrison St. Germain comes over here and picks up on this guy as well. We have 2 guys to block 1 guy here. So normally this would happen, Germain would turn up in the hole, but unfortunately, we had the great double team right here on this 2-eye technique, and he actually gets kind of pushed back into the hole a little bit here. And so it kind of stops St. Germain from getting to that second level. But it's okay. It's unnecessary. Again, we have 1 too many blockers, and they have dudes here in the box. Okay. Our right guard does a fantastic job of getting a little hook block right in here and getting on the inside shoulder of this 2-eye technique and turning his butt to the hole so Tootin can bounce right off of it. And our backside linebacker pulls right through the hole and picks up this backside backer who's coming across and seals him off. So now this Mike linebacker that is shifted over here, as soon as he sees Tootin come across, he steps up into the hole. He steps up into the hole here. This linebacker steps up, but Quan Felton does a phenomenal job of getting a nice crack block on him, taking him out of the play. And so now when Tootin gets that handoff, he's able to follow Johnny Garrett 83 yards untouched to the house. So a perfectly executed play by our line up here blocking, and great job of using motion and formation to get the defense in the proper position that we want to be in order to make this play happen. One last thing I wanted to touch on before I move on from this play is this guy right here. This defensive end. This defensive end's lined up in a 5 technique. That's I believe his name is Ezorako. He's a very good defensive end for Boston College. Why are we not blocking him? Why do we not have anybody set on him? Okay, he is the read for drones. So when drones opens up and we get to the mesh point here, he's waiting to read what this guy is going to do. If this guy chases Johnny Garrett, drones is going to be able to pull, and because we have blockers out here, either running off or stalk blocking out here, it's one-on-one. So drones could be off to the races on this play as well, but because Ezeraku, if I'm saying his name right, if I'm not saying it, I apologize, he steps up into the hole and anchors down, which to take away the drone's run. So that means we had everybody accounted for. It was absolutely beautiful. Drones carries out his fake afterwards to hold this defensive end, and Tootin goes 83 yards untouched to the end zone. Again, Bowen does a great job on this particular play of scheming everybody open, making sure that our entire offensive group knew exactly what to do. But the great thing is that it was so simple, so easy to run because of the formation, because of the motion, because of the threat of the outside run. It opened up everything in the interior. Just a beautifully well-designed play. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this next play up here on the board. We're going to talk a little bit about about what I like to call the scramble drill. So normally in a scramble drill situation, that's what happens when a play breaks down and a quarterback has to escape the pocket. Normally, if you have a scramble drill set up, um, you're going to have your short receivers, your short route runners are going to break off and go deep, and your deep guys are going to come in, and it's going to try to create some confusion in the secondary. Okay. The reason why I bring this up is because it's a version of the scramble drill with the running back in this particular play that is going to really kind of bust everything open for the Hokies. So right over here, we have 12 and we have 82 lined up here. Okay. So now let's take a look at the defensive alignment. Again, another unique defensive alignment here for Boston College. So they have 2-5 technique defensive ends. Azaraku is up here. He's standing up. Actually, I'm sorry. Azaraku's over here. This guy's standing up. We have a 4-eye, and we have a 3 technique and a 5 over to this side. And we're leaving essentially the middle of the field, the middle of the box open for the Boston College defense. Okay. We have a linebacker here in the middle. We have a corner over here. We have our backer playing up tight. We have another backer that is going to be out here over top of Aiden Green. We have a corner that's playing pretty much press man look. And over here we have a free and a strong. Okay. So in this particular look, you can see this setup. Boston College is playing a 2-high safety look. Okay. So, and we're kind of looking at a cover 2 type of situation. So you have 2 cornerbacks here who are going to break off into the flats, and you have 2 high safeties here that are responsible for deep coverage of the half of the field. So these guys have responsibility to not let anything past them. Okay. Normally, when you see this, okay, we're looking at this in and I would consider Benji Gosnell here to be inside of the box. So if I'm looking at just the box here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, left a 3 off the Teuton's number there. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we are 7 on 6 here, and if you include drones, we're 8 on 6 in the box. So it's so again, this is a really good look for the Hokies here if we wanted to run the ball. And normally against a 2-high safety look, running the ball is never really a bad idea. On this particular play, though, we decided to run that dippo concept that I talked about in previous weeks, and that is Aiden Green, inside release, running the dig, and then you have Allie Jennings over here, inside release, taking a post, and that's going to pull that safety away. So now you're kind of leaving this half of the field almost completely open because we're running everybody to the inside. On this side, we have Benji Gosnell that runs a little sail. We're running the Gosnell brothers. They're running a little inside release sail concept over here. And so you have an out here with a corner over top. And what this does is it pulls this linebacker out of the play. It pulls this safety out of the play. And this free safety has to go take this guy back deep. And you have this backer here who's trailing Aiden Green. This corner, obviously, is going to be running back here. He kind of forgets his responsibility because he doesn't think he must have a little bit of a man look going on this guy because he kind of tails the play and keeps going with Allie Jennings all the way across the field, even though you have the safety there with him. So again, they're so worried about our passing game that our safety valve, our safety route here is going to be a little flare to Teuton. Now, every running back has to worry about the linebacker that's covering him. Okay. And this linebacker's job is to go where 33 goes. So as soon as 33 flares out, this middle linebacker here is going to flare with him and basically pick him up in man. But as we've talked about, all of this has now gone over to the other side of the football. This is a wide open zone over here. Our pass protection initially is pretty good. Chaplin does a good job of picking up here. Guard does a good job picking up. Center comes over here and helps with this 3 technique right here. Our right tackle, this guy, this defensive end, it's a reason why he was number 2 in the ACC in sacks behind APR. He does a great up and under move to be able to get around. So actually, we set up really well, and he starts out bull rushing to the outside and then comes around to the inside. When he does that, Drones is going to be forced to step up into the pocket and kind of escape to the right. So now we have a little bit of open space. So when Tootin over here, who's our safety valve, who's our emergency, in case of emergency, break open glass guy, when he sees the play blocking breakdown and see Drones start to escape, he improvises. He runs his own scramble drill. He realizes, hey, this half the field is empty. All I do have to do is beat one linebacker, and I'm going to take Tootin over a linebacker every single day. So as soon as he sees that, he turns and wheels up the sideline. Drones escapes, hits him on a great ball up the sideline for the touchdown. Phenomenal job all around by the Hokies of just utilizing space, finding the skill players in proper positions. Line does a really good job here blocking, and sometimes a good defensive end is just going to beat your tackle. That happens. Okay, but for the most part, our line did a great job all game. So proud of the improvement that unit in particular has had. So again, Tootin is the safety valve. He kind of hangs out. As soon as he sees the play breakdown, he improvises. He takes off. Touchdown Tech. So once again, Hokies, great job this week of using motion, using personnel, using general athleticism, and just going out there and look like they were having fun. They're going out there and they're playing ball. And that's exactly what we want out of this team. I think early in the season, we were playing a little tight. We had a little bit of expectation on us, and it got a little tricky at times. So it was really great to see us playing a little looser, playing with some confidence. Hate this term, but a little bit of swagger. And then we were able to go out there and make some cool things happen. So moving on to Georgia Tech this week, I hope we have the same type of success against a pretty good Georgia Tech defense. If they have everybody there, I don't know if Tyler Eifert is going to be healthy or not. That's a big miss if he happens to not play for Georgia Tech. Anyways, check out Hokie Hitter for all past episodes if you want to take a peek at them. Also, follow me at Hokie Hitter for any updates. The 10-minute tailgate videos that's going to come out later this week. This one for Georgia Tech is pretty good. And also subscribe to the Sons of Saturday. Click like on this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you very much. I'm still jacked up from being in Blacksburg. That place brings new life into me and invigorates me, as I believe it does for all you Hokie fans. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Hokies.